Hello from Fifth Avenue and welcome back guys. So in today's segment we are going to talk about Marvel Moon Knight Season 1 Episode 2 recap and review. Spoiler alert. Let's start. Steven wakes up in his room in Episode 2 of Moon Knight, far removed from the drama in the bathroom that finished last week's chapter. Steven ultimately returns to the museum to meet JB, the security man who keeps calling him Scotty. They examine the security footage together. There's no jackal on site, and the footage shows Steven scurrying around like a headless chicken in the museum. Fortunately, the museum will not pursue charges for the restroom damage. Steven is summoned to his manager's office and told that he needs to see a doctor about his problem, but he is also dismissed as a result. Brilliant. Anyway, Steven proceeds to investigate the oddity that is causing him so much trouble, and he discovers a bag inside a storage locker. Passports and a revolver appear to indicate that there is some severe Jason Bourne-style amnesia at work here. The gold scarab Steven had in the Dream Town is also here, as with the aforementioned passports with Mark Spector's name on them. The guy in the mirror appears and pledges to assist Steven in his rescue. Mark claims he's an incarnation of Khonshu, the Egyptian god of the moon. Their goal is to safeguard the innocent and bring justice to those who are in need. When Steven rushes out of the building after seeing Khonshu, he collides with Layla, who is riding her bike. After snatching him up, we discover that Layla is Mark's wife. Steven, of course, is fully unaware of the situation. Mark's voice resonates through again as Layla drives him back to his flat, telling him to get her out since he's out of his depth. As Steven delves deeper into his alter life, he chats with Layla and is shocked to learn that Mark plans to divorce her. While Steven rambles on and tries to persuade Layla of what's going on, Mark warns him not to, stating that this could lead to her death. Layla eventually locates the golden scarab, pointing out that it is a key component of Amatsushapti. Steven begs Layla for assistance, saying that he has no idea what he's been up to in this claimed second life. Steven's flat is entered by DC Kennedy and DC Fitzgerald after a knock at the door. Unfortunately, the bogus passport and the gun are discovered. Naturally, the officers handcuff him, stating that Mark Spector is an international vigilante who shot a group of archaeologists in the back of the head after tying them down with cable ties. Surprisingly, these officers aren't your typical cops, and they look to be on Arthur's side. It doesn't take long for the big evil villain to appear and start yelling about Khonshu, who speaks up in Steven's ear and demands that he kill Arthur. Steven, on the other hand, declines to be shown around the small community Arthur has created for himself. Everyone in this bizarre picturesque shanty town speaks 3 languages, including Mandarin. Before Mark, Steven took power, Arthur was known as the Fist of Wrath and was one of Khonshu's avatars. Arthur seeks to resurrect Amat in order to entirely eradicate evil. The scarab acts as a compass, guiding them to Amat's tomb, which explains Arthur's strong desire for it. Steven sees that Amat will defeat evil before it arrives as he begins to mistrust Arthur's knowledge and teachings. In other words, innocent lives, including children, will be lost. Arthur, on the other hand, shrugs it off, comparing it to amputating a bad limb. Layla appears soon after, proudly displaying the scarab for all to see. No one tries to take it from her, instead allowing her to walk into the room. After that, Steven and I dash away. They eventually take refuge in a storage cupboard to avoid Arthur's followers, who pound on the door to the storage room they have locked themselves in. Outside, however, it is the jackal, not humans. Again, Steven summons a suit as he gets knocked out the window, but he is in charge, not Mark. Along with Layla, this strange Deadpool but not quite Deadpool persona takes on this invisible jackal. In reality, the scene seems a touch ludicrous, and Mark begs Steven to surrender control in the car reflection. He eventually accomplishes this, morphing into the classic Moon Knight costume. Moon Knight leaps across the rooftops, leading the jackal away from the crowds and eventually impaling it on a church spire. The task has been completed, or it would have been if Mark hadn't dropped the scarab, which was left behind on the floor. When Arthur finally receives it, he's one step closer to discovering Amat's tomb. Meanwhile, Steven, like Mark, is trapped in the mirrors and unable to move. Mark, on the other hand, is in command this time. He assures Khonshu that Steven will not meddle again. He'll find the scarab and find a route to Amit's tomb before Arthur arrives. As a result, they find themselves in Egypt. The episode review Moon Knight is back, and this time we discover a little more about Mark Spector and Steven's double existence. It appears that Layla is Mark's wife, but how that's possible in light of Steven's life at the gift shop, as well as how it's been secret for so long, is a mystery. That's especially true given Layla's apparent ignorance about Steven's genuine identity. The Egyptian inspirations, on the other hand, are wonderful to behold, and the play has a distinct edge to it by delving into the interesting African country's past. Having said that, Moon Knight's tone continues to be a problem, as it alternates between humorous Marvel jokes and slapstick and more brutal and visceral violence. We've seen Deadpool do it before, but the humor was much more mature. Moon Knight, on the other hand, has a lot of mystique about it, and a lot of favorable press. Let's see what happens in the following episode. So that was the end of today's segment. Please make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. Cheers!